What up, though? Welcome to Beats, Rhymes, and Parlays. Where every parlay get a beat behind it. Where every parlay has a beat behind it. And them stats here different. He got that champ chain up. I got that champ chain on. Y'all know what it do. We're going to show y'all why we have that champ chain up last week. Week 9 recap. Best bets went 1-0. Texas A&M beat that ass. So all y'all people who was on LSU last week, y'all can bet these. Them GMB get money boys best went 4-1. We had the GMB parlay. We had made the all spread parlay. But if y'all to bet our GMB parlay straight up with the regular spreads 4-1, and guess what? Jay hit another parlay plus 464. Plus 464. That's nine, count them, 9 parlays and counting this season already. We only on week 10. Let's go. How you feel, Jay, after I got done telling them why you got that champ chain up?
I feel great, man. We hit that Shady Records parlay, man. You know, we were just playing with alternate odds, man, trying to make it easier. You know, we might do it again, but it was a good Saturday. Everybody pretty much hit, man. Everything we said came to be true, and it was a good Saturday, man. Nice way to bounce back. I'm ready to get started this week, and let's keep this ball rolling.
Definitely, and we all thought it couldn't get more gutter. I'm up in this mug with the ski mask on. I ain't gonna even call it a ski mask, man. It's a hockey mask. Halloween. We on the eve of Halloween, y'all. We gangsta in this mug, and we gonna stay gangster. We gonna come gangster. Let's go. Let's jump on the week number 10. We got Penn State at Ohio State. Ohio State 19.5-point favorite, over under 44.5. What you got?
You know how we kind of roll, man. Especially over here. I mean, at first you kind of got at me at the beginning of the season because I'm a fan of Ohio State, and like, hey, he picked Ohio State because he's a fan. Yeah, I do, but also Ohio State's just that good, bro. They're going over, and they're gonna cover the spread, man. Arguably the best quarterback in the country. Arguably the best wide receiver room in the country. Running back there, you know, above average. Arguably the best defense in the country. I don't know if that's
I don't even think you can argue that. Yeah.
It's just a tough spot. And they had Ohio State running out there with I believe that quarterback's a freshman, man. They're going to try to run the ball. I don't think they're going to get too many yards. It may be close early. They may have some trick plays to keep them in the game. But other than that, man, it should be BTA. And we all know what that stands for. I got Ohio State running away with this one.
Yeah, I like Ohio State in this one. Like I said, got that young quarterback. Yeah, he haven't seen a defense like this. Probably the best defense. He saw Iowa. He scored 17 versus Iowa. I had to take one of them touchdowns away because he didn't score that touchdown. Iowa, even though they look good lately, but they not Ohio State. They levels down from Ohio State. CEO notes saying as honestly the most accurate quarterback I've seen in a while. Dude is super accurate, man. He actually reminds me of like Drew Brees accuracy, man. He goes through his progressions well. Great pocket presence. That's what I love. He got great pocket presence. The one thing you did mention, run game not consistent. You don't have an explosive run game, but y'all have been making it up with the pass game. O-line looks good. Like I said in the preseason show, y'all got 2 of the best receivers and probably the best full receiver room in the country, arguably on that one. And no weakness in y'all D. No weakness. The jury's still out on Penn State on what they really are with the new quarterback under interim coach. They got a good max effort against the Iowa team. And Iowa's a good team, as we saw last week. So that was a good effort. This might be a sleepy spot. I mean, that might have been a sleepy spot for Iowa, though. You got to think Iowa coming in, Penn State just fired their coach. They just got beat by UCLA, who trash. You know what I'm saying? Beat by Northwestern, who not no good. So Iowa honestly probably came in sleepy on that one. So his jury's still out. Let's go OSU on this one, especially at home, man, especially at home. This one, I'm going to call a Cristobal, and we saw what Cristobal did the last time he was out. And I'm not going to blame Cristobal on that one. I'm going to have some notes for y'all. But Miami's 11.5-point favorite on the road. This is the first time Miami's played out of the state of Miami this year against SMU over under 50.5. What you got on this one?
I would say I don't like this game. I'm saying this with caution. I'm going Miami because they're the better team. They have athletes, better program. You know, SMU is getting back to it, but every time I see SMU out there lining up with people, they look little, man. They look little. You got an explosive quarterback that can kind of hold things together. I don't like this matchup for them. I know it's at home, but I think Miami is really 21 points better than them. So I'm gonna lean Miami. I'm not betting this game, but good bounce back for Miami. I expect them to beat SMU by at least 14.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Miami too. I don't like that first half versus Stanford, 7-7. That was I don't know. I don't know what they did in the first half on that one. And I'm not gonna call it a sleepy spot on that because they just came off a loss. So you're supposed to come out guns blazing versus Stanford. They did in the second half. What they did do in the second half was keep the ball out of Beck's hands. And I'm learning Beck is good when he have a running game. You can't put it's certain quarterbacks like Sand who can play without a running game. With Beck not got a running game without their play action, Beck is not an elite quarterback. We thought he was a couple years ago. I'm finding out he's not an elite quarterback. The first 3 interceptions that he threw in that Louisville game should have never been thrown. Terrible interceptions. He actually, instead of have 4 interceptions, he had 5. The same drive, he threw an interception. They called it back off a penalty, and he threw another one. So that's terrible. Next drive, so Louisville actually fumbled inside their own 20. Miami recovered, made it 24-21. Honestly, the true score of that game was Louisville 24-13. So I don't like that. But what I did learn is the quick pass game is how Louisville beat Miami. So, Louisville had a weak O-line, and Miami got probably, if Ohio State and Miami, they probably the top 2 lines in the country. Texas Tech, top 3. So what Louisville did is they were doing 2 seconds. 2 seconds out. 2 seconds out. 2 seconds out. That's how. And when they did that, I'm learning Miami secondary is not all that. They strength is they front 7. But what happens is you normally can't get the ball down and, threatening a secondary because they always in the backfield. So what I'm learning is that SMU Dude, Jennings, he holds the ball a long time. They don't have that quick game. He's known for just holding the ball. SMU like to throw the ball downfield. So that's going to be a problem versus a Miami front. If you holding the ball versus Miami, Miami's going to be on your head. CEO notes, SMU defense gives up explosive plays over top. Wide receivers running wide open. I'm watching the Clemson game. Wide receivers running wide open. So if you can get that ball downfield, I think Tony going to have a good game for Miami. Jennings is a good quarterback, looser, strong arm. His best weapons is his tight end, which if your best weapon is your tight end, I don't think that's going to actually stress the weaknesses Miami having in secondary. I did see a noticeable limp in the quarterback, though. Jennings was on a limp the whole second half. So got to watch out for that. I think he got injured. I think it was in, I don't remember which, they played Wake Forest last week, wasn't it? Yeah, they played Wake Forest last week. So, no, I'm mixing my games up. So, he was hurt in the Clemson game. He didn't run as much in that Wake Forest game. And you saw they only scored like 12 points. So, that's going to be affected. That you got to watch that this game. Jennings will, if mobile, Jennings will be effective versus Miami on D-line and pass rush. But, like I said, I don't know if he can get that quick pass. I think he holds the ball on too long. So, I think Miami actually wins this game. Is a lean. I would definitely love the money line on this one. If anybody who love to play those big money lines, I don't see SMU beat Miami in this game. But if we do, it's going to be Cristobal for this time. The next game, we got Vanderbilt at Texas. Texas a 2.5-point favorite, over under 46.5. I don't know how you feel real quick. Let me go first just real quick. I guess Dan Johnson, a.k.a. Arch Manning, is concussion. That's how he went out last week. And they're saying normally concussions last a week. So the backup quarterback might start, who's a freshman. I ain't going to lie. He only had a couple plays, so I don't know how good he is. But what you feel about this game?
Real simple, man. I think it's Vanderbilt because
okay.
Texas is over here on borrowed time. Mississippi State had that game. It was a miracle comeback that they came back. Arch Manning was about to lose his job. The shit was going bad for them, like really bad. Kind of got hurt. The punt return, like it was a lot of weird stuff that happened to get them back in the game. They're gonna be at home. The crowd gonna be fired up. This is a perfect spot for Vanderbilt to solidify that they deserve to be in the playoffs. Go in there, stomp them out. I don't think it's gonna be easy, but I'm confused as to how Texas is favored because I'm trying to figure out who have they beat to make you think that they would be able to beat Vanderbilt because they lost to Florida, they lost to Ohio State. They beat Mississippi State. It's not a great win. Who have they beat?
So real quick on that, the spread 2.5 is basically telling you that Vegas thinks that they're equal teams on a neutral field. So if this was in Vandy right now, it'd be 2.5 Vandy be favorite.
I think they're better than that. I think
okay.
7. So I'm taking Vanderbilt easy.
Okay. CEO notes on Vandy. Last week versus Missouri was the most worst offensive showing so far, but actually the best defense is showing so far. I'm not gonna upgrade the defense yet. It was only one showing. I want to see it again, but they did look good on defense. They limited the special plays. That was Vanderbilt's weakness. They gave a lot of special plays, but last week they actually made the running back Hardy, who was one of the top running backs in the country, work for his yards. He probably averaged about 4.5 yards a carry, which in college, and especially with Hardy, that's kind of low. They were not able to beat a normally vulnerable Missouri pass D. That was alarming to me. If you can stop Vandy running the ball, they have trouble scoring. Only have 58 rush yards minus an 80-yard touchdown run. So they did break it explosive, but if you take that touchdown and run away, they only have 58 rush yards. On Texas, Dan Johnson, aka Archman, is super inaccurate. Still missed bad. He actually missed bad on a slant pass, bro. A slant pass. I've never seen that really, man. Literally a 1-2 slant and threw that boy way over his head. And the dude's been looking terrible. He actually makes the O-line look worse than what they are. He holds onto the ball so long, and I'm noticing on film, is he don't know how to read defenses. That's his problem. He holding the ball, trying to read the defense, and that's why he giving up so many sacks and looking so bad. That's why he looked like that against Ohio State. They said Ohio State disguising his defense to make him look like that. No, he just can't read defenses, and it hasn't got any better, and we in week 10. The Texas defense didn't show well. Normally, Texas, have a good defense. So I didn't like that. Mississippi State was kind of going up and down the field on their defense. If that's the Texas defense we see, Vandy gonna roll. But like I said, I don't like to take that 1 week of a bad showing and just to say that's gonna be the future. The reason I backed off this game on either side is, for one, I don't like Dan Johnson. I don't know who the backup quarterback is. But what I did, just say in my notes and I seen, Texas is like top 10 in the country versus the run. And if you can stop Vanderbilt running the ball like Missouri did, even with a bad secondary, which Texas do not have, I think this one's going to be close. I think this one's going to be close if they can stop them from running the ball. So I just kind of stayed off this one. All right, we got next Texas Tech, 7.5-point favorite at K-State, over under 52.5. What you got on this one?
I'm gonna stay away from it. I thought Texas Tech was a team, but to be honest with you, this is a spot for Kansas State to make a stand, not even to save the season, because I mean at this point they already got 3-4 losses, but weird. Like every other game they come out to play. Texas Tech still kind of struggling with that Arizona State loss. I think that's a weird loss for them because they look like a top 5 team. They brought them back to reality. So it's also an early kickoff. It's going to be like 11 a.m. when they out there on the field. And they traveling. It's not a far travel. I mean, I've never traveled from Texas to Kansas, but I'm assuming. I mean, I think they're in the same time zone. But
in the same time zone.
Weather going to be – it's going to be colder up there in Kansas. It's a weird spot, man. So I'm going to stay away from it. But I can see Kansas State covering. I'm just saying, take that with caution.
So basically what happened with Arizona State is we found out that the backup quarterback is not as good as the starting quarterback Texas Tech. That's why Arizona beat them. That backup quarterback, he actually, second half, he looked a little bit better, but that was a big drop down in talent from the starter to the backup. So that's what happened there. Honestly, nothing really changed for me with Kansas State. Everybody rah Kansas State. They exposed a bad Kansas defense. They actually forced 4 turnovers. They had a punt block fumble recovered for a touchdown. And then they had a couple other key turnovers where they got touchdowns on. Kansas play a clean game. It's probably a 7-point game, maybe. And so don't think Kansas State all of a sudden just, you know what I'm saying? Don't be ready to upgrade on that fast because everybody, they just blew out Kansas. I actually looked at their schedule. I don't think Kansas State played a top 60 defense so far this season. And they're about to play a top 5 defense. So just be weary about Kansas State. And guess what? Texas Tech got their starting quarterback back. So remember that Utah game, and we see how good Utah is. You see what I'm saying? And they took the top off on Utah. This one, 6.5. I would go all day with Texas Tech. Honestly, I probably like the 7.5. Y'all gonna see this team later. But on this one, I would definitely take Texas Tech, man. I think Kansas State is fool's gold, and I think they're gonna get kind of exposed when they show up next week. You got anything else? I mean, this week. I'm sorry.
Nah.
All right. We got the next game. Georgia 7.5-point favorites at Florida over under 50.5. What you got on this one?
Of course Georgia gonna win the game. It's all about covering the spread and trying to figure
Yeah.
that. They play weird. They play down to their competition.
Mm-hmm.
But not once upon a time this was a real rivalry game. So Florida gonna be up to play them. And Georgia, man, the way they play, they don't blow people out. They liable to fall down 14 points early, back and winning by 3.5. So me personally, I'm gonna stay away from this game because I don't know what's going on with Florida. I know they fired the coach. I don't know if this is the last stand for. I don't know what's going on down there. Georgia, solid team, man. I'm not sold on them as like a team that covers big spreads. So if I got to lean one way, I would lean toward Georgia, but I'm not betting this game.
Yeah. At home, honestly, would have probably took the 7.5. But like you said, Georgia in the first half, it's like they wait to see how the other team go play, and then Kirby in the second half make an adjustment and come back and win. So yeah, I don't want to play with a team that play with fire like that. And I love it when you say something and then my notes, as we do not discuss this, say the same thing. CEO notes Georgia continues to start slow in the first half of games. He's the king of second half adjustments. Their defense actually been having a hard time getting off the field on third down. Ole Miss, Bama, and Tennessee moved the ball with ease, and they cannot get off the field on third down. So that is a weakness of them. One thing about Florida, and I think Lagway got a weakness I think Kirby going to be able to expose. He struggles with short to intermediate type throws. When you take that away, he seems to want to force it downfield still, causing excessive amount of turnovers and turnover-worthy throws. I'm interested to see how the team responds after the coach get fired. Sometimes it's that 1 week bump. You saw Penn State came out that next week and played hard. So I think we'll probably see that. But I think Kirby, with that super just blatant weakness that he has, Kirby going to take care of that. This is an interesting stat, y'all, I got from PFF. When the running back on Florida Ball gets 100+ rushing yards this year, they're 3-0. When he doesn't rush for 100 yards, they're 0-4. Georgia has an elite run defense. So I'm just letting y'all know that's huge. Literally, that is a huge stat. So I'm taking Georgia definitely on the money line. I will alt spread this one down. This will definitely be an art play, and I don't see Georgia taking an L on this one at all. But I'm not gonna play with this spread because they just love to just wait and wait and wait. All right, you had some strong words in your text on this one, so I want you to talk on this one. We got Mississippi State at Arkansas. Arkansas 4.5-point favorite over under 65.5. What you got on this one?
I'm gonna take the underdog. I'm gonna take Mississippi State, and it's just because Mississippi State, if they knew how to finish a game, would be a ranked team right now. Like against every team that's ranked, and I'm not talking about bums. I'm talking about Tennessee, Texas last week. They come out of these games with a black eye, like literally. Gasping for air, walking out to them like, all right, we made it on the next week. When they played Auburn, you see they handle Auburn, I won't say easily, but Auburn's not a bum team. Like, they are good enough to beat some of these teams. Arkansas has a high-flying offense, but Mississippi State has a defense that will keep them in the game.
Yes.
And they're going to be able to score because Arkansas has no defense. I guess because they're at home. Because they're not gonna run crazy on them. So give me Mississippi State. I'll take them with the points and low key. I'm gonna take them. That's my underdog. Our underdog of the week would be them. So yeah, I would be. My underdog of the week is them. Give me Mississippi State. I think Arkansas are some front runners with a solid offense, but if you hit them hard enough, they'll back. Shit, we saw it with Notre Dame. You hit them hard. Oh, they'll cover up in the corner, bro.
Definitely. And speaking of what you just literally said, CEO notes, defense seems to get worn down in the fourth quarter. Exactly what you just said. Texas A&M exploded in the fourth quarter. Gave up 24 in the fourth to Texas and 17 to A&M. Sound like a lack of depth issue. Normally when that happens, that means you're not rotating your players in. You're playing your starters all game, and they're probably getting tired in the fourth quarter. So the offense and defense is kind of inconsistent from a game-to-game basis. But one note, and you're going to see this on a couple art plays later, is they only lost by more than one touchdown this season. and that's versus A&M, who we know is kind of better, up there in the pack. So that's an interesting stat. They only lost by more than one score at one time this year. So y'all will see them later. Taylor Green actually lost their Auburn game. 2 terrible interceptions, including the pick 6. That's how they ended up losing to Auburn. But tough offense to stop drive to drive, like you just said. But the defense, yeah, that you're gonna score on the defense. That's one thing. Even when the backup quarterback came in when they benched Arnold, I think 5 field goals or something like that. But the thing is that for one, he just coming on. He wasn't running with the runs, he coming in, but he kept on driving the ball down. Every time he got inside the 20 almost every single time, driving. So yeah, I actually like this one, man. I didn't put it on the show and make it a best bet, but now that we're talking right now, I can definitely see Mississippi State getting this W. So for all y'all might want to sprinkle something on that one. All right, we going next. We got South Carolina at Ole Miss. Ole Miss 12.5 point favorite, over under 55.5. What you got on this one?
Ole Miss.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to get into it. That they might be the best team in the SEC. I just watched South Carolina. I mean, they could put up a fight.
Mm-hmm.
That fourth quarter come around. Adjustments have been made. Ole Miss is gonna be high flying. They probably covered the spread pretty I won't say easily, but they probably win. Ole Miss is the better team. South Carolina expected to have a better year. Unfortunately, they didn't, and they just kind of where they're at, bro. They're in Arkansas.
Ty Simpson had like 3 to 4 open throws versus South Carolina that he missed. If he would have made those throws, that game wouldn't have been close. That South Carolina benefited from a muff punt. That's how they got up 22-14 in the first place. If you take that muff punt away, they only really had 15 points. Early in the fourth, I did like the fight they came with. After being blown out multiple times, they did give a real good fight. So, like you said, they do have fight in them. But honestly, I think they might come out flat, man. I mean, I think they really thought they had that win. That was a W. If it wasn't for that fumble, they had that win. And I think to already be bad, to give your best effort versus Bama and still lose, I think they come out deflated. I think this was going I think this is going to help Ole Miss case. If they would have got blown out by Bama, they might have caught Ole Miss sleeping. Mm-hmm. But Ole Miss ain't going to come out sleeping. Why? They just they did to Bama. Ole Miss about to come out and like they playing Oklahoma. And so I think that's honestly going to backfire on South Carolina. Trinidad Chambliss, CEO notes, look good. Remember we talked about him a couple weeks ago? He actually looked real good against was supposed to be an elite Oklahoma D. He looked decisive, accurate. Wide receivers got good separation versus Oklahoma secondary. The defense did give up 2 explosive touchdowns, so there's still some holes back there. But I don't think SC has an offensive talent to stress Ole Miss D, especially with a bad O-line. So I like Ole Miss in this one. I think you can see them on some odds because I think they at least, win by a touchdown. And I'm not saying they won't cover. I didn't bet it. And I know you like a little bit more. Honestly, if this was 9.5, and I know we like these numbers, y'all got to learn. These things fall kind of weird because y'all saw that Notre Dame game, how they just fell at 10. So I don't like that 12.5. Out 10, this would definitely be a best bet. So if y'all do like 12, take it. If it actually might have moved, it's going to move towards, I think, South Carolina because I see the Sharks on South Carolina, y'all. So if it get down to 9.5, y'all might want to take this one. All right, next. This game, Kentucky at Auburn. Auburn 11.5 point favorite, over under 44.5. You got anything on this one?
2 below mid teams playing against each other, man. I'm gonna take Auburn because I don't think Kentucky can win anywhere on the road. So yeah, Auburn wins 19-7, something like that, man. They're not that good either, but this is I don't want to say a get right game. This is a game to start to build your program on. If Auburn doesn't win this game, man, they gonna try to start the program all the way over again. Mm-hmm. So, I expect them to win this. Kentucky's terrible, and I don't even think Kentucky's even concerned about football anymore. They're probably focused on basketball. So
yeah. CEO notes, and it's funny how I love it when the weeks we kind of agreeing. Like I told y'all, when I write my notes down, I don't tell him the notes at all. He hear him when y'all hear him on the show. So when we speak in the same language, we always love that. Kentucky, not a very good team. Quarterback Boley is not a real talent. bottom tier SEC team. Defensively versus Tennessee, looked like they was playing 7-on-7. With no pads, they got burned up and down the field, man. I'm talking about Tennessee receivers was like 3 or 4 yards in front of them DBs like multiple times, man. Dude, they remind me of like they are honestly, man. They probably them in Wisconsin, maybe. Like they
bro.
Yeah, man. At home, Stoops is known to play one good game a year, and I think they kind of did it versus Ole Miss. And like you said, they're not good on the road, so I don't expect them to upset Auburn. One thing I do like about Auburn is their defense, man. No matter how bad Jackson Arnold been playing, their defense has been playing the whole game at an elite level. They're actually probably they at least top 10 defense in the country, at least top 10 defense. They might even be better than that. They was impressive versus Arkansas. Arkansas averaged 37 points a game. Arkansas scored 24. They didn't really score 24. Jackson Arnold threw that pick 6, he got benched. Arkansas only scored 17 points versus, and they normally score 37. That is impressive. The defense has been impressive all year, even with a struggling offense. Like I just said, Jackson Arnold got benched. Ashton Daniels actually came in looking better, so I'm hoping they stick with Ashton Daniels. Because what I'm hoping can do is just not mess it up. You see what I'm saying? Like anything's an upgrade over Jackson Arnold. And what he did in the Arkansas game, he came in and just kind of not messed it up. And the running back Auburn has, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, is he elite. Like he's real good. I like him on film. So with that defense in the running game, just don't mess it up. Kentucky's so bad. I honestly think Auburn gonna cover that 12 points. Because like you said, 19-7, I can see maybe 24-7. And y'all gonna see my notes is gonna be in a parlay later with Kentucky, and y'all gonna see why. And y'all gonna see why we match it up. This one I put on here because it's Wake Forest at FSU. FSU's a 9.5 point favorite, over under 51.5. And before you go, the reason this is on here is because, like we normally say, is Florida State 10 points better than anybody? And I'm asking you that.
They were 10 points better than Alabama at the beginning of the year, so I don't have an answer. Like I'm not betting this game. This is below my pay grade, bro. So like I'm gonna leave this. I don't know. Because what's next, man? We're gonna start betting MAC schools. We're gonna be out there in the WAC looking at Fresno State and Boise State. Like this game does not excite me. I mean, if I just being honest with you, Florida State, I would pick Florida State just off of the brand.
Okay.
That would be
it. Okay.
Wake Forest.
Yeah. One thing I did notice so far this year, and we'll see how that holds. Wake Forest actually got a legitimate defense. Wake Forest actually shut Georgia Tech down the whole first half, like 7 points. I told you last week they shut SMU down to 12 points. So their defense has been legitimate. Like I said, this is really only on here because 9.5 points, man. Florida State this year, of course, I don't know what happened that first game because they have not looked good at all since. Like I don't know what happened to Florida State.
Have they won an ACC game? No.
Man, they have been. I'm about to honestly pull up they schedule. They have looked bad. I think they even had a worse loss. Like they honestly, the next coach that's probably gonna get fired is they talking about is the dude at Florida State. Damn. Give me 1 sec. I'm trying to pull this up. It's funny because Google don't want to work when we on camera, but every other time, as soon as I hit it, it pops straight to it. But yeah, so let's look at. So the biggest thing is, I don't know if you know this because we haven't been following Florida State, but you know Stanford beat Florida State.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they won an ACC game.
Yes.
Am I right or no?
They lost to Stanford, Pittsburgh, Miami, and Virginia.
Who did they beat?
Kent State and East Texas A&M and Alabama somehow.
Yeah. I thought they were winless in the ACC, bro. That's wicked.
And we just gonna see what happens, y'all. I'm gonna bet this on principle. I'm gonna just take 10.5 on principle. Solo. I wouldn't kill a parlay or nothing like that. I would do a pizza bet. I'm gonna literally do a pizza bet because I'm telling y'all, I believe that Florida State should not be 10 points better than anybody, especially after losing to Stanford weak ass. So, and I'm not even making it the best bet, y'all. All I'm saying is I would do a pizza bet on this because I like I said, the only reason this spread looks stupid to me It 9.5-point favorite. Come
Who is
on now.
the
I
quarterback
could have
of
said
Wake Forest?
this is like you said what?
Who's the quarterback of Wake Forest?
I can't think of dude's name.
What's his name?
They like to. So Wake Forest got a legit like a good running back. They like to run the ball a lot. You want to pull it up?
No. I'm asking you.
No, I don't. I watched him on film, but I didn't write his name down.
Exactly. That's why you shouldn't be betting this. Anybody, if you can't name like 3 players on the team, don't put your money in this. This is what they do on Twitter. Like you'll see somebody named like Jimmy, you'll see somebody named like Terrence G's top 4 picks, and he'll have you betting on, we'll just say Utah State versus Fresno State. Man, don't do it.
Now, granted,
Don't do it.
Granted, I do see some people who do get value in those small schools. I'm seeing some people in them small schools a little bit more consistent sometimes. So that's a whole other story. We normally have the bigger schools on here, but those non-Power 4 teams, is a couple people out here that I'm starting to learn on the side. You can get some value on those. But like I said, this is only here because I don't believe Florida State is 10 points better than anybody. And we're just going to leave it at that.
How you on small schools? The thing is, it's hard to research them, bro. It's
yeah,
really hard.
Agreed.
Like you see some cats and they'll make it sound like it's easy. Oh, I knew Buffalo's going. It's hard to find tape on Buffalo, bro. You don't know how they match up. You just take it for it with that. So I get it. I'm not shitting on people who get their money on small schools. I'm just saying that is part of the reason I can't get down with it. Do I think Ellos and all or whatever that quarterback's name? Do I think he's great? No, I don't at all. But I can't bet on the team I don't know really too much about. Every time I see them in highlights, they getting cooked up too. So, but you're right off the principle.
Like I said, I'm not telling y'all this is the best bet. I'm not even telling y'all to follow this bet. We're gonna keep track of this, and next week we're gonna bring this up. So I just want to see how this game shake out. It just stuck out to me when I saw 9.5 Florida State. What? So we'll find out next week. I definitely want to keep track of that. And also, what I'm gonna do is too, because you made that statement a couple times too, and I think every time you'd have made that statement, the team that should have been favored by anybody over that, then not cover. And so let's see how that rolls. Next we got Oklahoma versus Tennessee. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite, over under 55.5. I'm interested to see what you think about this one.
Tennessee. I think Tennessee gonna win. I think Tennessee's at home. The only reason I'm gonna pick them because I know Oklahoma has a defense, but defense didn't look good against Ole Miss. They got beat at home. I didn't like the coach at Oklahoma making excuses.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like that team is falling apart. And how was it last week or the week before that started the streak of they're facing 5 ranked teams, and I know they got 2 losses right now.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like they about to take that nosedive, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going Tennessee. They high flying. You know what's coming, bro. Can you stop it? And let's be honest, man. The quarterback of Oklahoma, since he broke his hand, he ain't looked the same.
Not at all. Not at all.
Have a running game. So
yes.
And Tennessee can get pressure. I'm taking Tennessee all day on this one.
Yeah, you're right. And so the problem is now, since he hurt his hand, he's not going to really want to run the ball because he don't want to hurt his hand again. And I'm finding out that if he don't have that running threat, he's not as good of a quarterback, and he's actually getting exposed. AKA CEO notes. They faced their first real test versus good Ole Miss offense and failed. No fluke box score. Got also outgained by Ole Miss. Had to down Oklahoma D after this performance. Gave up multiple explosive plays. Also, offense also underperformed versus a below average Ole Miss defense. Material is inaccurate on mid to deep ball passes. You want to force him to throw over top. That's how you beat him. You force him to throw over top, man. He just can't do it. You stack the box and you bring everybody up and make him throw over top. He's so inaccurate. And I'm just finding out that. Also, he's normally the main running game. So when he was winning versus Michigan and all that, now they don't have a running game, and now they really don't have a running game because he don't have a running game. One thing about Tennessee that's suspect is their secondary. Their secondary is bad. They only get beat over top. But what I just say, material is inaccurate over top. So that's why I'm on you with this one. I love Tennessee in this spot. I love them at home. You saw them play an elite offensive mind in Kiffin. They're about to play another elite offensive mind with Tennessee. Aguilar has been super accurate and he's going to drop bombs downfield. like I said, I thought Oklahoma D was elite, but when you go back, and I missed this, look at who they played. Every offense they played is probably ranked in the 50s or below. And so finally they play a top 10 offense, and then you see what happened. So I'm with you on this one. I actually love this Tennessee one. So y'all, I definitely would go to the house with this one, man. All right. Next, we have one, and this one actually Jay hit me up like early. Like, man, I don't know what's up with this spread. And it actually moved in Jay's favor because he was just like, man, how are they 7.5-point favorites in Nebraska? And the Sharps agreed because now it's 5.5. USC a 5.5-point favorite at Nebraska, over under 58.5. Real quick, I want to give y'all two good nuggets. Something gonna have to fall this week. Lane Kiffin has not won a game traveling 2 time zones. Not Lane Kiffin.
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley, I get to mix up sometimes, maybe because they got both L's at the first name. Lincoln Riley has not won a game traveling 2 time zones. That is crazy. Also, Matt Rule has lost 18 straight games to ranked teams. One of those got to fall. What you think about this one?
Honestly, you kind of took. You just said what I was gonna say, man. USC not travel well, bro, when they got to come east. And I know that's not east like Penn State or Ohio State or Illinois, but they went to Illinois and lost. You know, better than Illinois. Nebraska gonna be thumping. Ain't nothing else to do in Lincoln, Nebraska, bro. Everybody gonna be out. It's gonna be a sea of red. It's gonna be a hostile environment. They got a decent quarterback too. The defense, and when I say I'm not saying the defense is top 10 or anything like that, but they're stout enough where they're not going to give up 45 points or nothing like that at home. So, to me, the safe spot is Nebraska. Nebraska will probably find a way to lose this game toward the end, but especially when it was at 7.5, bro. I'm like, you think USC going to walk into somebody's house? And this is before knowing the stat that you said. I'm just going off of my eye test since they've been in the Big Ten. They Michigan had lost last year when Michigan didn't have a quarterback, bro. Remember that? The 2 minutes ran the ball down the field. They don't play well. The weather gonna be a little chilly. Give me Nebraska with the points. What is it? It's at 5.5 now. I might would buy it up to 6.5, but if USC wins, I see them winning by 3 or 4.
Gotcha. Now, I don't think Nebraska's D, I think it's below average. Gave up 30 to Michigan, 27 to Michigan State, 31 to Maryland.
Push to Minnesota. But
yeah, they gave 24 to Minnesota, who just got shut out by Iowa. One thing I will say is that even though they gave up all those points, and I forgot where I heard of that, but Nebraska, I don't think played a team so far. Like they also, like I said, played a lot of weak offenses so far. And even Michigan might be in the 40s, 50s or something like that. And everybody other than that is in the 70s, 80s. And you see Michigan State put up 27, Maryland put up 31. So what I do think will happen,
Michigan State put up almost 40 in USC's house.
So that's what I'm saying, though. I'm speaking on just Nebraska defense right now.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not saying USC got elite defense. I'm just in my point, I'm saying I think USC going to score.
And
you see what I'm saying?
Let me take one other thing away from that Michigan, too. Remember, that was when Sharon Moore wasn't coaching. The other dude came back and started let Underwood play backyard football. They was not expecting that because you can see when he broke a couple of those touchdown runs.
Yeah.
They were ready for that, bro. They was that wasn't they didn't know it was coming. Not to make excuses, but
yeah,
I that's an outlier to me because I think if Sharon Moore was coaching, Michigan might have still won, but I don't think he would have been putting up points like that.
Yeah, but like I said, in my defense, I'm only saying I think that USC going to score. You know what I'm saying? USC, I found out today, has the number 1 offense in the country. I honestly thought they were maybe top 5, top 10. They actually have the number 1 offense in the country. I am upgrading USC after that Michigan game and that Notre Dame game. The Notre Dame game is a little bit different than what you think. It was closer than 10 points. The offensive press versus a Notre Dame defense who has looked good recently. Notre Dame cornerback their top cornerback, I think his name is Leonard. I can't remember, Leonard Moore, I think, or something like that. He actually shadowed Mekhi Lemon and took him out the game completely. And they still moved the ball consistently on Notre Dame. Notre Dame ran the back a kickoff for a touchdown for one of their scores. Also, USC had a costly interception and a fumble that actually gave Notre Dame a couple more scores. The defense couldn't stop the run game. I don't know if Nebraska has a decent run game. So Nebraska has a bad run defense and USC has a bad run defense, as you saw in the Michigan game, and also you saw against when Michigan played Nebraska and also when Michigan played USC. And you saw Notre Dame run up and down on USC. So that's another thing you could be suspect on. I just don't think that what is it? Nebraska's running back is as good as Price and as good as Love. So I think I can temper that down. With Nebraska, they blew out 24-6 to Minnesota, and then they beat Northwestern at home 28-21. 7 points came from a kickoff return for a touchdown, and 7 more points came from Northwestern throwing an interception on their own 25-yard line. The Northwestern true score actually won 21-14 versus Nebraska. If that would have held true right now, this spread would have been probably a little bit bigger than what it is now. But most people just kind of watch the box scores, so they like, okay, Nebraska won. No, Nebraska barely beat Northwestern and should have lost to Northwestern. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna stay away from it because history repeats itself, and I know this is one of the ones where like something got to give, man. He lost 18 straight games, and he hasn't won traveling time zones.
Well,
I'm gonna ask you, dog. You want to champion this? I'm not gonna be scared.
All right. Oh shit.
5.5, man.
Sure. I'll champion.
Yeah.
I ain't hype on Nebraska like that, man. I think Nebraska weak. And the only reason I'm kind of like second guessing it at all is I honestly think Matt Rule up out of there, bro. I think he's going to Penn State. If Brian.
Okay. So you want to champion or all? Because you was like you kind of like.
Hey, I'll champion it, man.
Okay.
Actually, no. Because I think there's one more game that we might be. Let me see. I'll champion.
Okay, we'll wait. Definitely. We'll hold off. All right, let's go to the next game. We got Cincinnati at Utah. Utah 10.5 point favorite, over under 54.5. What you got on this one?
I got Utah. I think 15. Something weird to me. Vegas shouldn't even have the spread shouldn't be this high. So something we don't know. Plus, I don't know if Cincinnati gonna travel well because I remember when they went out to start the season and they went out there to Nebraska and lost. So I don't like them going to Utah. I think they lose. I'm not sure they get blown out, but when I know a team is going to win, I don't like trying to get points guessing like, hey, they might only lose by this much. I can see Utah jumping on them. They don't know what happened before they look up at the scoreboard. They're down 24-0. So I'm taking Utah.
This one actually stands out to me too. One thing I did find out is I think Cincinnati starting running back is not playing. The spread started off around 7, and when that news came, it went to 10. So I don't know who they have behind him because he normally totes the ball and they kind of stand behind him. One thing I will say is that since he got a good front 7, they show well against the run. Utah's strength is the run in their O-line. One thing about Cincinnati, though, is that I need to see them versus a better team. Cincinnati's schedule has been terrible. Like who at Baylor, Iowa State, their schedule been terrible. Utah, when they played a team with a pulse, they lost to BYU. They lost to Texas Tech, bad. So honestly, I don't know how good Utah is. If you want to compare, I guess, apples to apples, is that Utah does look more impressive when they play inferior teams than what Cincinnati do. Cincinnati get up in the first half. Speaking of that, let me go to CEO notes now that I'm speaking that because I want to give you all straight from it. This is the second game I've seen, and that was versus Baylor. Second game I've seen since he jumped out on the team in the first half. They did it against Baylor, and they did it against Iowa State. And then in the third quarter, they don't do nothing. They was up 24-0 at halftime. And in the beginning of the fourth quarter, it was only up 27-20 versus Baylor. Like, yeah, they play with fire too much. I think that might come back to burn them. Another nugget I want to tell y'all is that Sorensby is, I think, PFF like 90s in the 90s versus zone, but he drops down versus man. AKA, remember we talked about it when I said he struggled versus Nebraska because they play man. Utah plays man better than Nebraska do. So yeah, I started out seeing this spread, like, man, why this spread so big? I'm gonna stay away from it. There's too many kind of red flags on Cincy, now that I know that Cincy does have some receivers who can separate, they do have a good old line. When you back and forth on a game like this, I'm just gonna stay away. I can see, and I think I said this before to Jay, and I said to most people, they're like, what are you talking about? I can see Cincinnati covering, and I can also see Cincy getting blown out. I know that sounds crazy, but I can see him covering, and I can see him getting blown out. And when I do that, I just stay away from the game. I'm gonna lean on Jay on this one with Utah, and we might see him later. Don't remember offhand. The last game we have is, and I put this on. There's another one. Jay came texting me like, about this one, so I was like, we gotta discuss this one. Michigan State at Minnesota. Minnesota 3.5-point favorite. Over under 46.5. What you got on this one?
Man, I'm taking Minnesota, bro, because I don't think Michigan State is going to win any games in the Big Ten this year. Just being honest with you, man. I just don't think I think they're going to go over, and I don't think they deserve to be that close to anybody traveling to their hometown. So me personally, man, I'm just saying I think Michigan State is terrible. So I'm not rocking with them, bro. I'm taking Minnesota. I think they can run the ball at home. They're usually pretty tough. I've seen them stomp out Nebraska at home. I don't like it. I don't think Michigan State's going to win a game in the Big Ten this year, bro. I think they want to get rid of that coach. I think it's about to get ugly. So
yeah, this one honestly, this one is kind of all you on this one, man. This is one of them battle with the bums, like you normally say.
Yeah. It's true battle of the bums.
Definitely battle with the bums. I don't have nothing to stand on this one, man. Honestly, so I honestly in a situation like this is just gonna be old school handicapping. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go old school handicapping, man. I'm not gonna bring y'all no stats. I'm not gonna kind of see your notes on this one. I think the two teams even, man. I'm gonna take the points. Old school handicapping, man. No, no notes, no analysis. I watched Minnesota. I watched like 2 games that Minnesota played, and I actually came away from the film with no notes, and my notes say inconclusive. So, I'm gonna go old school on this one, man, and just take the points, man. I got the better quarterback, I think, in Michigan State. I think I actually got the better receiver. I mean, we could champ chain both of them, man. You want to champ chain both, or you want to champ chain this one? I'm not scared, man. You said what?
I'm a champ chain this one.
Okay, we'll do that. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm feeling saucy, man. I'm 3-0 right now, so I'm willing to take a chance right now. I'm willing to take a chance.
You be picking these buster games, bro. But I mean, like, I'll champ chain it. I mean, I'm in the hole. I gotta try to get out of it.
So the problem is all the good games we agree on. You know what I'm saying? We've been agreeing the last 2 weeks on everything. So people have been wanting to champ chain, but I'm like, we can't champ chain nothing. We agree on everything. So the only 2 options we got is either this one or the USC one.
No, I'm gonna take Minnesota, man. But it was at 3 when I first jumped on this. It was at 3.0, bro. Now it's at 3.5.
Do you want it at 3.5? Because I'm gonna do it at 3.5. If you don't want it at 3.5, we don't got to do it.
Nah, then I ain't taking this one, man. I'll do the Nebraska. I'll take Nebraska. I'll take Nebraska to cover
the 5.5. Okay, cover the 5.5. So officially, y'all, we got a 4th champ chain of the year. I got USC minus 5.5. He got Nebraska plus 5.5. We about to move on to Jay's Shady Records parlay. He hit his last week. Let's see if he can do it again. What you got?
Man, with the Shady Records, called it Shady Records Part 2, man. Shady Records Aftermath. I moved Vandy up to 8.5. I can't see Texas really getting them up out of there, man. I really like that. So I'm gonna have them losing by less than 8 points in the game or whatnot. I took Minnesota at home. You know, I feel strongly about them winning that game. I gave them plus 4.5 because even if Michigan State lucks up and wins this game, as terrible as they are, they're not winning by more than 3. So I
No,
figured
agreed.
a little bit of a cushion. Other one I took was Mississippi State. I did that one plus 11.5 at Arkansas. I feel like
Love it.
hold them close, super close. They may not win the game, but Arkansas ain't blowing them out, bro. That offense ain't gonna run wild on Mississippi State's defense, except for maybe in the fourth quarter. But hopefully by then, Mississippi State will be up by about 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, I took Purdue at Michigan. They gave me 27.5. I took that because Michigan is not 20-something points better than anybody, man. It's just what it is. Michigan would win this game going away, but I just can't see them dog walking. Like, it's weird. The teams like Purdue, who you think Purdue and Northwestern are, that is what Michigan State is. That is what Rutgers is.
So we jumping on to the CEO of the Blueprint Parlay. A lot of this stuff me and him agreed on, so I love it. We talked about these games already. We got Ohio State minus 9.5, Georgia money line, Texas Tech money line. We're gonna give USC 3.5, Tennessee 7.5, Ole Miss 5.5, and Auburn 5.5. That's plus 680. I feel good about this one. And like I said, this is we both agreed on all these. I love it when we agree. So I do love this parlay, y'all. We got another one. This is a CEO notes parlay. Like I told y'all, I think USC, even if they do lose, I think they're going to score. So we're going to go team total over 31.5.
Okay.
If they gave up 27 to Michigan State, 30 to Michigan, USC the number 1 offense in the country, how are you going to stop them from scoring? Now, Kentucky, just like Jay said, they probably going to lose 19-7. If they lose 19-7, they're going to go under team total 16.5. I like this one. And also, too, CEO notes, Mississippi State has not lost but one game by more than one score, and that's against an elite Texas A&M team. I love this one. It's actually plus 412. Y'all might want to get this one in. It looks amazing. All right, what you got, bro?
I ain't got too much, man. We did the the UFC show yesterday. We got a big card coming this weekend. You know we love college football. Sorry, this card wasn't what our cards usually, so we kind of on the same page because this is kind of a weak weekend. It is what it is, but we still going after that money, and we're gonna kind of just do what we do, man. Continue to get money and get out here and get after it. Peace, love. We're gonna see you at the counter. We them get money boys, and we want to smoke.
Yeah, we definitely want that smoke. We're gonna get out of here, guys, and we gangsta up in this boy. Let's go.
Peace.